Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Ballet International. This is Jean-Pierre Tribillois speaking from Rome, Italy. I am the administrator of Ballet International. Today we are going to talk about the health of a ballet dancer. Health of ballet dancer is very important. It could touch and refers to branches, the physique and the mental. Both are always traveling on a twin line, and both are hanged on with the same cord, and if one of the two is slowing down, the other part will slow down as well. So the good health of a dancer is also linked to a good training. I'm referring to ballet dancer. A good training, but also, as we have already talked in another video, with different type of training, not only the bar, the center, with other type of training which are essential. And beside that, the health of a dancer is also linked to a good type of food regime and a good rest. And the type of life that a dancer is having next to his professional career. It is very important for a ballet dancer to moderate himself or herself during the work at the theater, because as we all know, a professional ballet dancer has a very stressful type of life. I already mentioned that a ballet dancer may start to work around 9:30 in the morning. He goes in the ballet studio, he does his warm-up. At 10 o'clock starts the ballet company class, or the boys class, or the girls class. And then at 11:30, a quarter to 12, or sometimes at 12 o'clock, they finish the class. After 20 minutes, they start the first part of the rehearsals. And sometimes the rehearsals are very heavy, they are very difficult, very demanding, because it depends on the choreography and of the ballet that they are doing. And they have maybe 1 hour of free time for lunch, but many dancers don't have a heavy lunch. So you will always see dancers bringing some food from home, and like a yogurt, an apple, and a lot of fruit. And so they will have a very light lunch. And then around 1 o'clock or 1:30, they will start again the rehearsals. It depends if a soloist or corps de ballet or the principal, it depends. And then they have maybe 45 minutes, 1 hour of free time in the afternoon, just to take a cup of coffee and relax. And then they have the warm-up class for the late evening. And warm-up class sometimes can stand for the 45 minutes to 1 hour, maybe a little bit more. If the class is done on stage, is something. If it's done in the studio, is something. It depends on the time available they have. And then they have to prepare the costumes. And they go in the dressing room, they put the makeup, and then they go on stage and they do the performance. So in doing all this, and they finish the performance sometimes at 11 and maybe more, 11:30. And by the time they go back home, the sleep the hours of sleep are very short. So they don't have enough time to rest. And all this put together after years and years and years and years of this routine, you are consuming your body because you don't give the possibility to your body, to your physique, to have a challenging different program. And so it is difficult to explain that because while the years are passing on, of course, each dancer in the ballet company is growing up, is improving the technique, but is also getting older. I don't mean by that the dancers are becoming creepy old. No, but the physique is starting to change. The strength is starting to change. Which are the symptoms that sometimes you don't feel that you are getting stressed or, let's say, older? The symptoms are very easy to detect. And I think that many dancers will understand that and will experience that. Which means that sometimes you wake up in the morning, you want to do class, and you start forgetting things to put in the bag because you are not enough concentrated on what you are doing and you think about other things. Sometimes you arrive to the ballet studio. It depends how many kilometers there are between your home and if you have to drive about 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, or take the subway or travel with the bus. So you launch yourself into this modern world who is a shock because mentally, when you wake up in the morning and you are going to the ballet studio, you are still in that bubble of performance, in that bubble of magic, of costumes, of makeup, and that you have done a few hours before. But when you go to take the subway and you see all this modern world that is completely alien, completely different from you, it is a shock. So you get at a theater at a fast speed because sometimes you arrive to the theater that you are late. If class starts at 10 o'clock, sometimes due to tardiness about traffic, about many things, you arrive 10 minutes before class. And if you start the class suddenly without any warm-up, it is a drama. It is very difficult. You have to get in that atmosphere at least half an hour before you go to the ballet studio where there are just a few dancers and you just relax and you meditate and you start doing your warm-up, you start discovering your body, and you are giving slowly that positive impulse to your body to wake up, because your body is still hasn't had the chance to wake up. Your head, yes, but not your body. Your body is still asleep. So you have to do a slow and gradual warm-up before the company class. Now, the type of rest, if you can, dancers, if you can, try to sleep. Try to sleep because sleep is like food. If you sleep too much, then it will happen that for 1 or 2 days you will not be able to sleep. So you have to have those 6, 7 hours of sleep. But the symptom of getting overstressed is that when you go to do your class and you start with the plie or facing the bar with a simple tendu, you point your foot, you flex, and this, it takes about 15 minutes that your brain starts connecting and understanding what you are really doing. even if the piano is beautiful, even if the atmosphere is beautiful, but you are still in that bubble of sleep. So there are days where it is difficult to connect yourself, especially when you start doing the quick movements at the bar, because your brain makes a tremendous effort to connect yourself with the movement that you are doing. And this is another symptom of tiredness. Sometimes when you work at the bar, you may feel dizzy. And you say, why am I feeling dizzy? I took a coffee this morning with some sugar and I felt okay, but now that I'm starting the class, I feel dizzy. And this is another sign of stress. Sometimes it may happen that while you are working at the bar or at the adage in the center, or in the jumps, big elevation, small elevation, allegro, first allegro, second allegro, whatever, you feel that the muscles are wobbling, are trembling. And this is another sign of stress. Sometimes it may happen that while you are working, there are days in which you work and you are not perspiring. Or sometimes there are days that as soon as you start your class, after the plie, you start sweating. So in winter, usually ballet dancer, they put a wool, wool thing on the torso, wool leg warmers, in order to warm up much quicker the muscles. But there are some days where they don't use it, and that is also a kind of stress because the muscles feel the difference of temperature. So you are giving an extra effort without warming up your muscle well with some wool and with the exercise. Sometimes the stress can be very strong, but during the work, you may have headaches. So that becomes a little bit more dangerous because it affects your stomach, it affects your heart, and your general health situation. So when you see that you are having some headaches, you must take care. Sometimes it happens that when you are on tour, you are touring with the ballet company, you go into another country where the day before you were in Rome and the next day you are in Melbourne. And you arrive there, you have to change plane at Sydney, unless you have a straight connection. You go to Sydney, then you change the airplane and you go to Melbourne. So, and you have about more than 24 hours of airplane to make that tour. So you must give some rest to the dancer, the possibility to rest, because also there is a weather, the climate that is changing. So if it was winter in Rome, you get in Melbourne, that is full summer. So it is a shock for the dancer to to perform. And but I'm sure that the artistic director, the choreographers, and ballet masters, they know that already and they consider that. But the discipline of a ballet company is the discipline. You have to be up to all and to face all this. You have to be strong. There are no excuses. So you can, but for the dancer, you make one day a step forward, then a second step forward, and as soon as you feel stressed, you go backwards again. And the same thing goes and goes and goes and goes. But you have to reach that point, which is the most important. So to reach that point, it becomes a drama and a big stress. But I think that many dancers slowly experience that by their own. So, and there also are many dancers who are able to distress themselves, to find the way to get some rest. Now, of course, said that it happens that during a ballet company tour or even after a series of performances, some dancers do a great mistake of, after the performance, let's go up and we have a good pizza, let's go up and all together and we go to a restaurant and we have a good meal, and they stay there until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, just to enjoy that little extra stamina they have, because they want to, enjoy life every single minute. But then you feel it the next morning if you are at a restaurant at 4 o'clock in the morning still discussing and enjoying your life. You have, after 5 hours, to be in the studio and dance. So that is also not good for the health. So I don't say that all ballet dancers have to be like living like a monk, or they don't have to, have to be like a vampire, that they have to hide themselves after performance and finish. No, they have to enjoy life, but don't exceed. Be intelligent. Test your body, test your weakness, test your limits. Because more you get older in a ballet company, you start at 20, at the age of 20, you are full of energy, so you don't feel tired. But once you start getting at 28, 30, you start accusing some very little, tiny, witty problems that pops out in your physique. But then, after the 30 years old, and you start reaching 38, 40, then it becomes more serious, the situation. But then, after 40, you have to take care, because your physique is completely different. Even if you are a principal dancer, even if God have given you the most beautiful physique, the physique change. Everything change, because our physical machine, unfortunately, we cannot stay young. We have to get old. This is the normal process of life. It would be a miracle if you stay young. But you have to take care. So the only good doctor that can cure your problems is you. You are the dancer, and you test everything that reasonably, without going to excess. There are ballerinas who say, "Oh, I am too fat. I have to lose some weight," but they are already skinny. So this is not good, because they weaken their strength, and they will not be able to make Swan Lake, Bayadere, Third Act, those difficult, heavy ballet. They will not have enough strength because they don't eat enough. You can eat moderately of everything, but in little portion, in order that your stomach doesn't feel heavy. Of course, if before going to performance, you go to a restaurant, you eat spaghetti with sauce bolognese, you take a rump steak, you take some potatoes and some salad, then you take an ice cream, then you take a cappuccino, and then you go to the theater, and you expect yourself to make the variation of Bluebird, You are not going to look like a bluebird. You're going to look like an iron machine who is jumping all around the stage. So you have to think well of what you are doing when you start your career up to the very end. But let me tell you something. It happens that many dancers, even principal or corps de ballet or whatever, when they decide to stop dancing. It is the moment in which they have to work harder. That doesn't mean because you stop dancing that you have to stop curing your body. You have to take care about your body. Because taking care about your body instead of doing ballet, because many dancers don't like to do the bar, don't like to do the training at the bar in the center. So you can change training and do other type of training. There are 1,000 of other training, but a reasonable training. There are people who like to swim. There are people who like to do yoga. They like to do, I don't know, 1,000 of other disciplines that gyrotonic. They like to 1,000. There's no need to name them all because we all know, but you must do it reasonably. So, as I said, the only doctor is you. Now, to end up, I will show you a video that probably you have already seen, but this may happen when the physique is overstressed. It may happen when the physique is overstressed. It may happen when you are out on tour and the stage floor is different from the one you are used to. Maybe because you are tired and you are not capable to take care about yourself while you are dancing on stage. But dancing on stage, it's an experience, it's a challenge, because when you are on stage, it's not like when you are in the studio. If it happens that you lose your balance and you fall flat in the floor, it could mean that you are tired. It could mean that you are not feeling well. It could mean that you just lost your balance. It could mean that you had a problem with your ballet shoes, or because the stage floor is different, is slippery. So it could mean 1,000 of things, but it's an experience to fall in the floor, which is sometimes necessary. As long as it happens during a ballet studio, it could be okay, because the ballet master or the choreographer or the teacher will understand. But when it happens when you are on stage, try to explain this to the audience. Audience will not understand that. Yes, they will understand. Maybe they will encourage you when you stand up again and they will make some applause. But you still feel unhappy of what happened. So you have to stand up and pick up the music from where you lost it and continue the variation. But this happens to many dancers. So you have to analyze these problems, because it happened. It happened to all professional dancers and even to ballet students to experience that, which is not a bad thing, is a normal thing. Don't think that Nijinsky or Makarova or the great ballet dancers, they never had the same, what I have explained now. They also have experienced that. All dancers do. And also the ballet teachers, because the ballet teachers were dancers. So I'm going to show you a very, very, very brief video. I'm not going to conclude afterwards. I'm not going to give comments, but I let you see this video and you will understand. Of course, this video refers to dancers who had falls on stage. Don't take it as a comic way. because there is nothing comic, there is nothing to laugh about. It is regretful to see dancers fall on stage or in the ballet studio during rehearsals, because you have to understand the message of this video that I'm showing you now, that we have to respect the health of dancers. When dancers fall, it means there is something to watch, to control, to take care of. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy this last video that comes after my speech. Bye-bye.